Good afternoon, welcome to Menagene and InterBolsa's weekly wrap for August the 21st. The equity market's been fairly quiet. We were coming off a long weekend, so we've been moving gently up in line with the region. The peso is stronger, closing around 2,000 this week, again driven by regional factors more than anything domestically. The test market, 2020 is going to close the week at 945. That's pretty weak, to be honest, but volume's been very low. Very few end buyers, and we're seeing the yield curve get steeper and steeper. There's a general lack of confidence in what the government's going to do next. They have to pre-fund 2010. They've mentioned 4 billion pesos, but there's a suspicion in the market they could yet place more into the market, so they're keeping away from it right now. Macro is fairly quiet. We've had a busy couple of days on the macro front, though. Industrial production was down 6.6% for June. Again, a little bit worse than expected, and this continues to be a disappointing number. It continues to worry foreign investors. Judging by my visit to London last week, that's probably the macro data point that causes most concern. Vehicle sector's weak, iron and steel was weak, very few redeeming factors, and fingers crossed that picks up fairly soon. Retail sales were down 4.5% for June. The issue here, we just got recently kind of comfortable with the fact that retail sales headline were poor, but when you stripped out vehicle sales, they were actually positive. This month they were still negative, even including vehicle sales, so down 1.2% including. So again, we need some more signs of hope out of that sector. Final construction data was construction licenses. They were down 22.7% for the month. Now, we're used to this as the way it's been the whole year. Now, there's been pretty much a sea change over the last 6 to 12 months. 12 months ago, the low-income housing was probably 15% of all applications. It's now 30% and a huge component now. This has been driven by the government's mortgage subsidy scheme for low-income housing, which started off at $250 million and has now been increased to something like $400 million due to enormous demand. So that's one kind of highlight in construction licenses, which overall stay pretty subdued. In politics overseas, we're hearing the same waffle and noise out of Quito and out of Caracas. Really no extra news, though. Uribe is trying to be slightly conciliatory, but nothing coming back from Ecuador as yet. He's trying to talk about maybe improving relations, but no real concrete progress this week. Domestically, though, it's been a big week. The Senate has passed a referendum vote, and we can fully expect the Congress or the lower house to do it next week, which will give Uribe the green light for a referendum sometime later this year. A couple of factors here. Noema Sanin, today or overnight, it's been reported that she will not start chasing a candidacy for the Conservatives or Liberals or any party for the time that Uribe is still in the process, which is a bit of a surprise, although she is extremely loyal, along with Juan Santos, who's made similar declarations before. Whether Uribe actually wants to run, still a major question mark. It could be that he's wanting to guarantee succession, he doesn't want the party to splinter as it threatens to do, and maybe he's just waiting to pick a candidate, or somebody picks a candidate, or things clarify a bit for him. But we'll have to keep an eye on that one. But by next week, the referendum should have the green light. Finally, on the macro news, on the stock news this week, Chocolates yesterday issued $500 billion pesos, should I say, in corporate bonds. That's a refinancing. Demand was 3 times that, so the corporate bond sector remains extremely hot here. ETB had a presentation yesterday to talk over the basics of the search for a strategic partner, or they're also talking about maybe if somebody buys control. The process seems to be going fairly well, although it was fairly small on detail. Credito, well, they reported really good July numbers, but the real shocker this week is they've now voted to change name. Credito going forward will be Helm Bank. So look for a change of corporate branding there. No given reason for it, and we've yet to speak to the company on the subject. Ecopetrol and Rubiales will issue 500 billion pesos in bonds against their Rubiales pipeline. Some of it's to pay down the initial debt, some of it's for ongoing operations. No date given on that yet. Isahen, while slightly expected, the CFO has retired. It wasn't, not completely out of the blue, but in the middle of a sale process, that's probably a tad inconvenient for the company. Finally, one of the big issues that came up in London during my trip recently was the impact of the pension funds going forward, the growth of the pension funds, etc. They're obviously going to be a very big factor. If you refer to the weekly messenger, you'll see a breakdown of how the pension funds are. Now, the big news here at InterBolsa was obviously, we came in yesterday morning, which was Thursday, and there was a slight situation. We had a major flood. We were closed down yesterday. So what I'm going to do, as a lot of people have asked, I'm going to take you down, and we're going to have a look at some of the damage downstairs. So I will rejoin you downstairs in a couple of minutes. Okay, so to give you some indication of the damage yesterday, just quickly, here we are on the 4th floor. All the water came down from the 5th floor, and if we pan around here and take a quick look, here we can see this is the ceiling today, Friday. Now we're going to take a quick walk around here and we'll show you where the ceiling was this time yesterday. If you just want to follow me. It's a little dark, so I'll try and show you. We've got workers everywhere, so just bear with. Come on. Come on in. So this yesterday, that's where the ceiling was yesterday. So you get some indication. So no one was taking holidays for nothing yesterday. It was a hard day. So there we go. Hopefully we'll be back ship shape for tomorrow. So anyway, that's it from Medellin. I'm not sure you can see me. It's so dark, but everyone have a great weekend. Take care.